Oh, hey, how are you? Hey, my name's Gabe. It's nice to meet you. And I want to say hello to our friends in Kansas, Kansas, and Ottawa, Olathe. If you're watching online, if you're part of our Hero Squad, what is going on? Yeah, I'm kind of looking around. I'm actually in the middle of something. I got my plans right here. So we're getting ready to do some work. And I got my helmet on, I got my safety vest, and of course I got my plans. See, you can look right here and you can see everything that's needed. Like, okay, I need a door there that's 15 feet by 6 inches. We're gonna put some electrical there. Oh, we gotta put that over there. And we put that over there. Like, wow, like, you gotta have the plans, because like the plans put everything together. Well, have you ever had some plans to do some things? Have you ever had some plans to do something maybe with your friends? Or maybe it was something with mom and dad? Or different family, and that you were gonna do it and you can't wait! You got the plans to do it. But then all of a sudden it got changed, or it got changed at the last minute. Or mom and dad, maybe they had to work and you didn't know they had to work, or you thought you'd be able to do that, but well, maybe we didn't have the money to do it, or we had to go here and help this person with our family, and then all of a sudden these plans that we have, they're all gone. We don't have them. We can't use them because our plans changed. I don't know about you, but especially me, when I like to do a project, I want a plan to be safe and everything else, and I want a plan to do something. And when it gets all changed at the last minute, I don't like that. Have any of you ever had any plans that you've made? And when you have made plans, how have you done differently when they've changed? And how important is it to have plans doing anything, whether it be a Lego set or putting together maybe a tree house or a shed or a building, or you see a big school being built or something? What do you think you need plans for, and how can they help you out? I don't know how many of you have ever seen plans before, plans like this. You know, they have all kinds of different stuff on there. When I was your age and I was growing up, well, I would have plans all the time. You see, my mom, she worked for an architect, and an architect is a person or a team of people that actually put the plans together. And she would bring home these big plans. And they got all kinds of stuff on there, but then on the back, it's blank. And it would make an awesome thing to make a coloring. You can make a racetrack on there. You could draw a spaceship. You could do all kinds of stuff. And that's what I would do. But I also would look on the front and look at this, and I would imagine, what kind of building are they building? Can you guys see some of these plans? What do you think they're building just looking at this? Is it a factory? Is it a grocery store? Is it a school? What do you think they're building? Well, if you take a good look at the plans, you're able to see and probably could tell what they might be putting in with these plans here. But what's interesting, and what I've been thinking about, is that these plans, they take a lot of time and money to put together. People work really hard, and for someone to just throw these away, why would they do that? And why would I be able to have a bunch of plans like this that I could color on and do different things with? Well, the more I think of it, is I realize that the reason I had these plans, they were messed up. Yeah, all those plans were messed up because they had to either change something, maybe the plumbing had to be moved, or a door needed to be here, or because it had to be this size instead of this size, it needed to be like this. And even though they had those plans, even though they put all that work into doing something, they had to start over. And that allowed me to be able to draw on them and learn from them. And I just think that as we look at plans, that they change. We're going to have an addition to the building. They're going to make one room bigger or smaller than it is. And, oh, where you wanted to put that door? Well, that actually is where the bathroom is. And, oh, you want to put that there? That's actually where we're going to be entering in there. And there's a kitchen there. But if you put a sink there and you put a line there and it goes here, there, and there. And that's why it's so important to have plans. And that's why if you have plans and it changes, well, that affects everybody else who's doing the plumbing and the ceiling and the painting and sidewalk and everything else. So plans get changed. Have you ever had to deal with changed plans? I know we just talked about it a little bit more, but how many of you would know that if you had plans and maybe they got changed and you didn't know about it, you'd build part of something. Think if you had this plans to make this really cool Lego structure, and you're putting it all together, and then halfway through, all of a sudden you realize that, wait a minute, that's not for the Millennium Falcon. That is for a Paw Patrol building. You'd realize that they wouldn't go together. Have you ever seen Paw Patrol in space? I don't know. But I'm just saying they wouldn't go together because the plans wouldn't be complete. That's why when they have to make some of these major changes that, well, they start over with some new plans. Or they take the plans that were there and they have to readjust it to show what is going on. So how many of you think that you could use some plans that maybe they're just not all right? And can you use plans where things don't fit together? And how important is it to have plans that actually work with everything? All right, hey, so we've been talking about plans, and I've been thinking, I know I've got a plan, and that is to have some ice cream. How many of you want to have some ice cream, right? Well, I was thinking I was going to have some ice cream, but I was thinking, should I use a spoon or a fork? What would be better? Let's see, here. Well, kind of. Okay. Bad. I'm gonna try the spoon. Okay. Much better. What's your favorite kind of ice cream? I really like vanilla, or maybe like butter pecan, or they have blue bunny black walnut. Oh, it's my favorite. But anyway, I don't want to talk about ice cream, but I do want to talk about a fork versus a spoon. Now, what does that have to do with plans? Well, we can have all the plans in the world to have some ice cream or soup or anything else or cereal, but yet if we go to use a fork for something that is really made for a spoon, well, you get different results. I mean, look at this. Which one would you rather have? Would you rather have the spoonful or a forkful? I don't want it to fall first. And believe it or not, kind of like how this ice cream is, it kind of goes along with us. See, this month our memory verse is Proverbs 19:21. Proverbs 19:21, and it says this: many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. Let's say it again. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. And I think that could be really like this here. Like, I can have a plan to have some ice cream or soup or cereal, and I can plan to use my fork. But if I do, I don't really get as much as I really should. Where if I would actually follow the plan and use something that is designed for that set purpose, like a spoon, it's made for the purpose of scooping things up. So you can have ice cream. You can enjoy things. But if you use things for the wrong purpose, you're not going to get that set result. And that's just like our memory verse. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose. What does God have for us for our purpose that prevails? What can you think of that maybe you probably should use a spoon when you should use a fork? Or if you try to use a fork when you try to use a spoon, it ain't going to work. How important is it to have something that you use that is used for that specific purpose? And how much better can you do something if you actually use the correct thing for what its purpose is all about? So I know some of you might want some ice cream, and it's interesting what kind of ice cream you like. We like all different kinds. But hey, what we're really wanting to talk about is plans, and about how our verse this month, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. The purpose and how it prevails. Prevails means win. You know, when you're thinking about what is the purpose of something, one of the best ways to know what the purpose of something is, if I were to hand you something and you're like, what's this? Well, the best way to know what it is and the purpose of it is to ask the person who made it. You can know the purpose of something if you ask the Creator. And we can know our plans by simply asking our Creator. One of the best ways to know that whether we have plans. So you want to be on a sports team, or you want to be in a play, or you want to be on the swimming team, or should I do this? That might change that. And should I really go over there and do that? One of the best ways that you can do that, one of the best ways that you can make plans and know if that plan is really in line with God's plan, is to simply ask. Just like how we can ask the Creator of something what its purpose is and what it's for, is we can go to God and we can ask Him. It really isn't that hard. We can simply ask God. I'm telling you, that's one of the best ways to know when you go about doing something, is to ask God. Ask God, how does that work? How can I do that? How can I know? And if we would simply ask, we can find out. And maybe we're going to go this way and do that, but you know what? After asking God and hearing from Him, I know that I should actually go this way. See, one of the best ways that we can do it is we can ask God. Now, we had a memory verse a while back of, if any of you lack wisdom, you should ask God, and He will give generously to you who ask. That's all we have to do is ask. But yet when we look at a plan for our life and maybe making decisions, maybe you have a decision on, like I said, do you want to be on that team, or should you do this at school? Maybe, should I go and maybe hang out with these people instead of hanging out with these people? There's all kinds of different things that we have plans for our life. But the best way for us to know, is our plan in line with what God has for us, is to ask our Creator, is to ask God. Remember, our memory verse is that many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. So I want to challenge you with this for this week, is I want you to ask God before you do something. Ask God before you make plans. And just see how different things are. Because a lot of times, I know me, that I'll make plans and I want to do something because, well, it's good for me. Or I think maybe I'll win because we do that. Or I think I'll be able to be known more because of that. Or I think that they'll look at me this way if I do it that way. Well, when you get down to it, is that really what's right? Because that's what's down in our heart. But yet if we could stop and ask our Creator and say, God, should I really be doing that? We would realize that maybe we're doing that for the wrong reasons. Most importantly, yeah, our plans can change and do the right plans, but our heart can change also. And that's what it's all about. So I encourage you, how are you going to ask God for making plans in your life? And remember, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails.